I'm 38, name's Michael, living in Knoxville, Tennessee. Never thought I'd be writing something like this, but I need to get it off my chest. My wife, Amanda, 35, and I had been together for 12 years. 2 kids, Liam, 10, and Sophie, 7. We had what I thought was a solid marriage. Not perfect, sure, but we were partners. At least that's what I believed. Funny thing is, you never really notice the cracks until they're already splitting the whole foundation apart. The first signs were small: late nights at work, new lingerie that never made an appearance at home, her phone suddenly locked when it never used to be. I'd ask, casually, what's going on? She'd roll her eyes, tell me I'm paranoid. It's just stress at work, Michael. My boss piles on everything. And like a fool, I swallowed it. I wanted to believe her. God, I needed to believe her. But then one Friday, I saw her car parked outside a restaurant in town, a place she swore she never had time to visit. And sitting across from her was her boss. The way they leaned toward each other, I felt something in my chest twist, something dark and heavy. That's the moment the fog lifted. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I went home, sat in the dark, and made a choice. I wasn't going to yell or cry or beg. I was going to gather everything. And Reddit, buckle up, because this isn't a story about forgiveness. This is a story about receipts. That night, I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw them. Her laughing at something he said. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear like she used to do for me when we were first dating. I won't lie. Part of me still wanted to be wrong. But another part, the colder part, knew exactly what was happening. So I started small. I waited until she fell asleep, then checked her phone while she snored beside me. The password was new, something she'd never used before, but it only took me 3 tries to crack it. And when I got in, Jesus, texts, hundreds of them. Late night, thinking about you, messages, flirty emojis, promises to sneak away again soon. Even photos, selfies of her in the bathroom at work, cleavage shots she never sent to me. And his replies. I felt sick. Physically sick. I had to sit down on the floor just to stop the room from spinning. But I didn't smash the phone. I didn't wake her up and demand answers. I took screenshots. Every single message, every photo, every timestamp. I emailed it all to a private folder on a backup account. I wasn't going to confront her half-cocked. I wanted proof, undeniable, irrefutable. And this was only the beginning. I started checking her GPS history, her email, even her work schedule. Every story she'd told me for the last 6 months started unraveling right in front of me. Late nights? Yeah, she was working, just not on spreadsheets. I felt like I was living with a stranger. And maybe I had been, for longer than I realized. But here's the thing, Reddit, she had no clue. None. She kept coming home, dropping a kiss on my cheek like nothing was wrong, laughing with the kids, acting like we were still some perfect family. Meanwhile, I was building my case. Every lie she told became another brick in the wall I was going to slam down right on top of her. The next few weeks were a blur. Every smile she gave me, every casual love you as she left for work, it all felt like some cruel theater. And I played my role perfectly, the trusting husband, the clueless dad. But under the surface, I was working hard. I bought a small audio recorder online. Nothing fancy, just enough to slip into her purse one morning when she left it on the counter. That night, I retrieved it while she showered, listened through hours of muffled office noises until I heard his voice. You're so much better than him, he told her. You shouldn't have to go home to that loser. Her laugh. I know, she whispered. He's so pathetic. But he pays the bills, so I play along. For now, I don't know how long I sat there listening, but at some point, I realized my hands were shaking. Not from rage, not even from heartbreak. It was something deeper. Like standing at the edge of a cliff and realizing you'd already fallen. You just hadn't hit the ground yet. I copied the recording, saved it alongside the screenshots. By now, the folder was a digital graveyard of every moment she betrayed me. I reached out to a friend of mine, Matt, who worked in IT. Asked him if he could recover deleted files from her old laptop, the one she'd stopped using months ago. A week later, he handed me a USB. You sure you want to see what's on here, man? He asked. I need to, I told him. Turns out, she'd been planning her exit for a while. Emails to rental agencies, lists of schools in another district, even a message draft to a lawyer asking about custody arrangements. She wasn't just cheating. She was preparing to replace me entirely. And the craziest part? She was doing it while still acting like everything was fine. Like we were still a team. But Reddit, I wasn't going to let her control the story. Not anymore. If she wanted a new life, fine. But I was going to make sure she earned it. It was around this time that her boss, his name is Brian, by the way, announced he was throwing a big party. Company celebration. Fancy venue. Open bar. The whole 9 yards. When Amanda told me about it, her eyes lit up in a way I hadn't seen in years. "You'll come, right?" she asked, barely able to hide her excitement. And that's when it hit me. She wanted me there. Not because she loved me. Not because she wanted to show me off. She wanted me there because it made her affair feel thrilling. Because standing between her husband and her lover gave her some twisted sense of power. Well, I decided right then, if she wanted to play games, I'd play too. Only I wasn't bluffing. I booked a private investigator to tail them for 2 weeks leading up to the party. By now I already had plenty, but I wanted everything. Photos, videos, times, locations. Meanwhile, I acted normal. Packed the kids' lunches. Helped with homework. Folded laundry next to her on the couch while she texted him, thinking she was so clever. The night before the party, I gathered it all. Screenshots, recordings, photos from the PI, copies of her emails and his messages. I made a slideshow. A literal, PowerPoint-style slideshow. Labeled and time-stamped. I loaded it onto a USB. Put the USB in my jacket pocket. Then I sat down at the kitchen table, watching her pack her dress and makeup, humming to herself. "Big night tomorrow," I said, keeping my voice light. She grinned at me over her shoulder. "Oh, it's going to be huge." Yeah, she had no idea. The night of the party arrived, and it felt like walking into a movie set. The venue was a renovated mansion downtown, all marble floors and chandeliers, filled with the sound of expensive laughter and clinking glasses. Amanda looked stunning, I'll give her that. She wore a deep red dress I'd never seen before, probably bought just for him. She kept glancing around as we arrived, searching for Brian. When she spotted him across the room, her face lit up in a way I hadn't seen directed at me in years. Then she quickly masked it, sliding her arm around mine like a prop. I played along, smiling for the introductions, shaking hands, listening to polite small talk. I could see how they underestimated me, the nice guy, husband, the boring dad, the quiet background character. The whole room buzzed with corporate ego. People congratulated Brian on his latest business deal, toasted to his visionary leadership. And Amanda? She stuck by his side like a loyal shadow, soaking in the reflected glow. Every time she whispered something into his ear, every time their eyes locked a second too long, it added fuel to the fire burning in my chest. But I smiled. Oh, I smiled so wide my cheeks hurt. And inside? I counted down. I'd already arranged it. When Brian stood up to make his big speech, when the projector was fired up to show a slideshow of the company's achievements, that's when my USB would work its magic. A friend in the AV team owed me a favor. Sure enough, halfway through the speeches, they dimmed the lights. The projector whirred to life. And instead of the company video, my slideshow appeared. It started innocently enough. A photo of Amanda and Brian at lunch, sitting too close. Another photo, them leaving his car together at night. A text message, "Last night was amazing. I can't wait to feel you again." The room fell silent. Click. Another photo. Amanda, wearing his jacket, giggling as he kissed her neck. A ripple of gasps spread across the crowd. Click. A recording played through the speakers. Amanda's voice, low and breathy. "You make me feel alive. He doesn't even touch me anymore." Brian's voice, "Soon, baby. Soon." I stood at the edge of the room, drink in hand, watching as the entire illusion cracked wide open. Amanda froze in place. Brian turned pale. People stared. Phones came out. Murmurs turned into whispers, whispers into shocked laughter. She turned, wide-eyed, scanning the crowd until her gaze landed on me. And I raised my glass. "Cheers, sweetheart." The war had just begun. You could have heard a pin drop in that room for a full 10 seconds after the last slide faded to black. Then, all at once, the noise returned, louder than before, like a wave crashing into the shore. I watched it all unfold, standing near the back with my drink untouched, feeling oddly calm. Brian tried to speak first. "This isn't," but his voice cracked, and no one was listening. His boss was already pulling him aside, furious whispers flying fast and low. "Amanda?" She staggered forward, hands reaching out as if she could physically push the moment away. "Michael," she gasped. What did you?" Oh, now she remembered my name. I didn't answer. Just took a slow sip of my drink and gave her the smallest nod. I wanted her to know. I planned this. I saw it all. A woman near us whispered to her friend, "Isn't that his wife?" Oh my God. Another voice chimed in. "She's been sleeping with her boss?" At work. Phones were everywhere now. Taking pictures. Filming. Capturing the moment Amanda's world imploded in front of everyone who mattered to her. Brian's boss stepped onto the small stage. "Ladies and gentlemen, We're ending the event early tonight. Please gather your things. The lights came up harsh and bright. People shuffled out in clusters, muttering, avoiding Amanda's gaze. She stood frozen, red-faced and shaking, like a statue carved out of pure shame. I walked past her without a word. Didn't even glance at Brian as I passed. I left them standing there, two people who thought they were smarter, stronger, untouchable. Outside, the night air was cool, clean. I inhaled deeply, feeling the weight in my chest start to lift. I didn't go home. Instead, I drove straight to the hotel I'd booked weeks ago, checked in under my name, slid the USB into the hotel room safe. And then I called my lawyer. Tomorrow, I told him, I'm filing. Full custody. I've got everything we need. He whistled low over the phone. Damn, Michael. You sure? I've never been sure. As I hung up, I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at my reflection in the window. I wasn't broken. Not anymore. I was free. The first call came around midnight. Amanda. I let it ring. Then again at 12:15. Then a text. Michael, please call me. Please. At 12:30 she tried again. I silenced the phone, set it face down on the nightstand. She wasn't sorry because she hurt me. She was sorry because she got caught. By morning I had 17 missed calls, 11 voicemails, and more texts than I cared to count. Please let me explain. It wasn't what it looked like. You blindsided me. I didn't deserve that. Oh, she didn't deserve it? I laughed out loud at that one, bitter and sharp. My lawyer called me at 9 a.m. Filing's underway. We'll serve her today. Do you want to meet at the office? No, I told him. I'll come tomorrow. I'm taking the day. Because I knew what was coming. Amanda wasn't going to let this go quietly. Sure enough, around 10 a.m., the front desk at the hotel called. There's a woman here asking to see you. Tell her I'm not available. 5 minutes later, a knock at my hotel door. I didn't answer. Then my phone again. Amanda, voicemail this time. Michael, please. I need to talk to you. Please don't throw this away. We can fix this. Fix this? I stared at the phone until the screen went dark. There was no fixing this. There wasn't a version of this story where we put it all back together. By noon, I got a text from Brian. That was unexpected. Please don't ruin my career over a mistake. We can work something out. Think of your kids. Think of my kids? The same kids he didn't mind hurting when he slept with their mother behind their father's back? I didn't respond. By 3 p.m., Amanda's mother called me. Michael, she's devastated. Please come home and talk to her. Home? That wasn't my home anymore. Each message, each call just solidified something inside me. They weren't reaching out for me. They were reaching out to save themselves. And the truth? I didn't care anymore. That night, I sat in the quiet of the hotel room, looking out over the city lights, and realized, for the first time in years, I wasn't waiting for someone to come home. I was home. The next morning, I met my lawyer at his office. We went over every piece of evidence again, the texts, the recordings, the photos. He whistled under his breath as he flipped through the file. Michael, you're sitting on a mountain of proof. This is going to be one-sided. That's the plan, I told him quietly. By noon, Amanda had been served the divorce papers. My lawyer arranged for it to happen while she was still scrambling at work, trying to hold on to her job after the disaster at the party. He slid a copy of the custody petition across the desk. We're requesting full custody with supervised visitation. I signed without hesitation. Judges don't take infidelity into account for custody, he explained. But showing instability? Putting the kids at risk emotionally or otherwise. This evidence builds that case. It wasn't about punishing Amanda. It was about protecting Liam and Sophie from the wreckage she'd created. I left the office feeling both lighter and heavier. Lighter, because I was moving forward. Heavier, because it still felt surreal. Amanda called again that afternoon. This time I picked up. Michael, she started, her voice trembling. Why are you doing this? We can work through this. We can go to counseling. I'm not interested in fixing something you lit on fire, I said, calm as stone. You're really going to take my kids away from me? No, I told her. You did that. She went quiet for a second. Then her voice turned cold. You think you're so righteous. You think this makes you the better parent? No, I said. I think it makes me the one who stayed. Click. I hung up. And for the first time since this all started, I didn't feel broken, or angry, or even victorious. I just felt done. I picked up Liam and Sophie from school that day, took them to the park, watched them climb the jungle gym, laughing, chasing each other. I realized they were my reason, not revenge, not pride, them. And from that moment on, every decision I made was for them. The next few weeks felt like a chess match. Every day brought a new move from Amanda's side. First, she tried playing the victim. I heard from mutual friends she's devastated. She says you humiliated her in front of everyone. Yeah, she was humiliated. Imagine that. Then came the apologies. Long, tearful voicemails. Text at 2 a.m. Please, Michael. We can co-parent. We can stay friends. I don't want to lose everything. But when that didn't work, the mask dropped. Suddenly, I was an unfit father. She claimed I was emotionally abusive, that the kids were scared of me. Her lawyer filed motions, tried to paint me as cold, distant, unstable. Funny how fast love turns into poison when you take away someone's control. But here's the thing. I had receipts. Every message, every recording, every photo wasn't just proof of the affair. It was proof of the deception, the lies, the manipulation. Her attempts to smear me fell flat. The court-appointed evaluator spoke to me, to the kids, to teachers. Her claims didn't hold up. I don't see any signs of emotional harm from Mr. Bennett, the evaluator's report read. The children express love, safety, and comfort in his care. Amanda sat across from me at mediation, arms folded, lips tight. Gone was the confident woman from the party. She looked tired, cornered, resentful. You won't keep them from me, she hissed under her breath. I'm not keeping them from you, I said quietly. I'm protecting them from this. She didn't answer, just stared at the table like the wood grain had answers. When we left, my lawyer nudged me. She's gonna fight, Michael. But she's losing ground. I nodded. I knew. I wasn't here to destroy Amanda. I wasn't here for revenge. I was here to end a battle I never asked for and win the only thing that mattered. The day of the custody hearing felt surreal. I sat outside the courtroom in a suit I hadn't worn in years, watching the second hand tick around the clock on the wall. Amanda walked past me with her lawyer, eyes straight ahead, chin lifted high. But there was a crack in the armor now, a flicker of doubt behind that practiced confidence. Inside, we sat at opposite tables while the judge read through the findings. The evaluator's report, the financial records, the timeline of the affair, the messages, the recordings. Amanda's lawyer tried to spin it. Your Honor, infidelity is not illegal. My client's personal relationships shouldn't affect her rights as a mother. The judge raised an eyebrow. It's not the affair I'm concerned about. It's the pattern of deception, the planning to leave the marital home without a plan for the children, the demonstrated instability. Amanda's jaw clenched. She stared at the table again. When the judge finally spoke the ruling, I barely breathed. Primary physical custody to Mr. Bennett. Joint legal custody. Supervised visitation for Ms. Bennett pending further review. Amanda's head snapped up. That's not fair, she blurted out. The judge didn't flinch. It's what's in the best interest of the children. My lawyer squeezed my shoulder. You did it. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel like I'd won anything. I just felt relieved. Amanda stormed out of the courtroom, muttering under her breath. I didn't follow. I had no words left for her. Outside, Liam and Sophie waited with my sister. When they saw me, they ran into my arms. Does this mean we stay with you, Daddy? Liam asked, eyes wide. I swallowed hard. Yeah, buddy. You're staying with me. Sophie squeezed my neck tight. I don't want to leave again. You're not going anywhere, I promised. And in that moment, standing there with them in the courthouse parking lot, I realized something. This wasn't just an ending. It was the beginning. It's been 6 months since the custody ruling. Some days, I still wake up expecting it all to fall apart. Like I'll open my eyes and find myself back in that old life, waiting for a lie I hadn't discovered yet. But most mornings, I wake up to the sound of Liam and Sophie arguing over cereal. I get to pack their lunches, drive them to school, help with homework, tuck them into bed at night. I'm not going to pretend it's been easy. Single parenting isn't for the faint of heart. There are nights I sit in the living room, staring at the wall, wondering how the hell I'm going to do it all again tomorrow. But then Sophie runs in with a picture she drew of our family, just the three of us. Or Liam leaves a sticky note on the fridge, Dad, you're the best. And somehow, it's enough. Amanda tried, of course. She tried to appeal. She tried to convince people I'd manipulated the system. But with every attempt, she only dug herself deeper. Eventually, her supervised visits became sporadic, then stopped altogether. The last time she showed up, Sophie wouldn't even go to the door. Liam asked me if they had to see her again. I told them the truth. When you're ready. They haven't been ready. As for Brian, he lost his job within a week of that party. His wife left him. Last I heard, he moved 3 states away. Sometimes people ask if I'd ever forgive Amanda. And the truth? I don't need to. Forgiveness isn't for her. It's for me. And I don't feel bitterness anymore. Just a quiet acceptance that some people burn down their own lives, and all you can do is step out of the way. I still get the occasional message from someone who was there that night, telling me they'll never forget it. Neither will I. But it wasn't the night that defined me. It was every morning after. Every day I woke up, put one foot in front of the other, kept going. And now? I'm not broken. I'm stronger. I'm free.